Good. Thank you. So I'd like to say this, and I'd like you to take note of this. If you have a right angled triangle, the smaller side, if you square them, and the medium side, if you square them, if you add the square of both, it's equal to the square of the longest line. And this is what it means. So the square of A plus the square of B is equal to the square of C. And this is the Pythagoras theorem or Pythagorean theorem. Now I want you to put that in your notes to send to me so that then we get this idea. Now, here are a few questions that I'd like you to ask, and in a way, I also want to teach you how to do it in other schools, and this is how it will work. So not just my drawing method, but also the way that they do it in school. Now, here's a quick question. If this side is measured 7 centimeters, and this side is measured 24 centimeters, what is the length of this?
Say the numbers again.
So if A is 7 and
Yeah.
if B is 24, what is the length of this line, the longest line, which is called the hypotenuse?
31.
Now we're going to do this, right? Now I want you to copy as I explain it, but thank you for the guess. So what we do is we copy the whole theorem, the formula for the theorem. So we copy this, we do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What is A? What is A is 7. So what we do is substitute the values. So we do 7 squared. What is B? Is 24. Equals C squared. Now we do the square. 7 square is 49.
49.
Now, what is 24 square in your list?
To be truly honest, I didn't count that high.
Okay, so
I got to 20 squared and then I stopped.
So okay, I'll do 24 times 24 here. It will be 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 96, and then 2 times, put a 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 4, and the answer is 6. What? 6. 4 and oh no, that's 5. That's 576. 576. Is that right?
Yep.
So 49 plus 576.
That's 623, I think.
No, it should
No,
add in
25.
Yeah, 625.
There we go.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
And then here you go. Now this one is C squared, right? You have to ask what number, and this is really important, yeah? C squared is what number you multiply by itself that the answer is 625. And that's essentially the question of what's the square root of C. Yeah? No, that's not how to do it. Sorry. It should be, what is the square root of 625? Right? So what number do you multiply Yeah, to get 625. And so you can just say if 20 times 20 is 400. And
it would be 31. 31? No,
well,
hold on.
it shouldn't be. Well, it says in the answer, it should be, when you multiply them, it should end in 5. If it's 20 times 20, it's end in 0. If it's 30 times 30, it's end in 0. It should be 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 times 25.
No, yeah, hold on. Yeah, that is right. But how, if it was a number that we didn't know, how would you find out the square?
Well, you have to have the list. This is the crude way, right? The crude way is essentially you have a list of square numbers with you.
Yeah, but if you wanted to find it out without counting a ton of square numbers.
Use a calculator.
Alright.
But this is a crude way because I don't think when some of you come back next school year, we won't be doing. We'll have a calculator with us. Yeah. We have a computer basically to do the calculation because we've done the basics, and we don't need to do pen and paper because we've done the basics, right?
Nice.
So that's the idea. That's why I try to do it the crude way, is have a list of square numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the answer. So that line, the answer to this question of what is C is 25. Are there any questions with that?
No.
Okay. Shall I give you your homework or do you want another example?
Homework.
Homework?
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Yeah? So if you copy that one, I'll go to the next one. So this is the homework. If you have a right angled triangle, and this line is called A and this line is called B, what is C? That's the question. Yeah? What is C? Now, oh, that is not a good drawing, isn't it? Okay, does it matter? If A is 8 and B equals 15, what is C?
Is C the biggest one?
The longest one. That's called the hypotenuse.
Right.
That's question number 1.
But this is what we've just been
Yeah,
doing.
this is what we just did. So this one is different because I'd like this to be longer. So it's essentially, the question would be like this. It would be A is longer and B is shorter. Yeah, so that's a right angle, that's a right angle. A, B, and C. Now, if A, are you managing to read those on the board?
It's like a triangle. I can't see the actual number.
This is 40, yeah, mm. This has to be cm. This is 40 mm and B is 9 mm. Yeah? What is C? And C is blank. Now last question.
You could also do this backwards, couldn't you? Like find out C and then find out the others.
Yes, that's for tomorrow. But we need to just practice this, otherwise there's too many information. So, last question, if A is 32 mm and B is 24 mm. Yeah? What is C?
Oh my god. this space.
Edwin,
Yes?
for the second question,
Yeah?
because A is bigger than B and C.
Yeah?
Could you write out the questions just bigger? Because it's really blurred.
I'm going to write it in the Google Classroom.
Alright, yeah.
So for the second question,
Yes?
do you do it the same as the others?
Yes.
But because like A is the biggest one.
Yeah. Well, C
Okay.
will be the longest.
Confused.
You have to take note that C is always
Wait, I can't
longer
hear
than the two. The length of C is always longer than the length of A or B.
By how
I
much?
can't hear you.
So, the longest line in the triangle is always C, the hypotenuse. But you still do them the same as I've shown you.
Edwin,
Yes?
how much bigger is C than the others?
Not much. Well, bigger than B. In the second question, bigger than B by a lot, but not much by A.